Welcome to Busy Bee Recipes. I am super excited about this one. We're gonna talk a little bit about batch cooking. So this is when you make a big batch so that you have something delicious for a long time. This one is a recipe for frozen burritos. I absolutely love this recipe. I make sure I make it at least once a year so I have burritos for quite some time. We're gonna wrap them in some aluminum foil, pop them in our freezer, and then when we need a good, delicious home cooked meal, even on the busiest of nights, we can just pull those out and pop them in our toaster oven or the oven, and in like a little bit of time, we have a delicious meal. This is great too for packing it for your partner's lunch or your lunch. You can just nuke it in the microwave, whatever. It's so good and so simple. If this recipe sounds like one that you want to try, stick around. All right guys, the first thing you're gonna do is get a pan really hot and we're gonna drop in our beef. You can even drop it in big chunks because you're gonna just break it up with a spoon. Now we're using 2 pounds of ground chuck. This is 80-20 fat ratio. You kind of want that to build in some of that flavor. What we're gonna do here is we're just gonna brown the meat on medium here, stirring it occasionally to make sure everything's sort of cooked and cooked through really nice. Next up is gonna be the seasonings. We're just gonna follow whatever the recipe calls for on your seasoning packet. For me, it was 6 tablespoons for 2 pounds meat. Then after that, my recipe called for 1.5 cups of water added to the seasonings. Now we're gonna go check the meat to make sure it's all browned, and we're gonna drain off the fat. We're gonna drain off that excess liquid into a container. Once that's done, we're gonna take our seasonings and we're gonna add those seasonings to the pot, letting that develop a little bit of flavor, add our water to it, and then after we add that water, give it a really good stir so we can kind of mix those up. And on medium heat, we're gonna let that cook down a little bit and let that seasoning really build into the meat. Now we need the beans, and the beans are an important part. It adds a lot of protein to this. It really helps fill us up for cheap. So here I got 6 cans of beans. I got 3 kidney beans and 3 black beans. It takes a while to open up, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit for us. Then we want to take these over to the sink, drain them and rinse them. Give a really good rinse. Clean them off nice. Then we have to open up the diced jalapeno. Getting a little sick opening these cans, but we're almost done. Now we're gonna get the biggest bowl we can and take our beans and dump them right into that bowl. And we're also gonna go grab the beef and do the same thing, scraping all that good flavors and bits into this big bowl. And we're going to then add the diced jalapenos, and we're just gonna give this a really good stir. Mix it all in. We wanna really like put those flavors and the seasonings kind of all over. Now comes the fun part. I lay out 10 things of Reynolds wrap, and then I put out 10 medium-sized taco shells, and I put a little bit of the mix on each of them. I sprinkle them with a little Cholula cheese, and then I fold them up a la burrito style and wrap them right in that very same Reynolds wrap. It couldn't be any simpler. It's as easy as that. But just to make sure we all get it, we are going to go over this process zoomed in. Okay, we have the Reynolds wrap. We put down our tortilla. We add a little bit of the mix. We sprinkle a little cheese on top. And then I like to turn this so that it's kind of horizontal to me. I fold in the sides, pick up the ends, kind of tuck that in a little bit, and then finish the roll. And then I sort of move it down on the end of the Reynolds wrap and do almost the same thing there and just roll it up. Now let's finish it off. We got to do 20 more of these. We'll go extra fast for you guys. This is a good time to tell you that you can get creative with this recipe. Make breakfast burritos, use eggs and a little salsa in there. It is so good, and it's up to you. Really get creative with what you want inside your burritos. All right, guys, this is what 30 burritos look like. We're gonna pop these in the freezer, and then we are all set. We have these meals already done. Now we're just gonna take them out of the freezer when we want one, and we want 1 or 2, 3, whatever, and we pop them into the toaster oven or the regular oven. Set it at 325 for about 30 minutes, and 30 to 40 minutes, and just give it a little touch feel to see if everything's good, and you should be set Serve it with a little side of salsa or pico, and you can just dip it in there. It's so lovely, so delicious. You're gonna really like having this recipe in your back pocket. So give this one a whirl. Also check out some of the other recipes we have in the Hive here. I would love to hear from you guys what you think in the comments below. If you guys are gonna make this, this is just a winner. And don't forget that you could do all those different styles we talked about. You could use eggs, you could put really anything you want in here. It will work the same. I hope you guys really do check this one out. As always, thanks so much for being here, because really food is about bringing people together. The Hive is about bringing people together. This moment of fellowship is such an important one, and it's just a pleasure sharing it with you guys. Hope you guys have a good day. Take care.